What if I told you that the joint pain you've been living with for years could fade after something as simple as a gentle walk? I know that sounds impossible. You've probably tried walking before and paid for it with swelling, stiffness, and even more pain. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not the walking that hurts you. It's the way you've been walking. And that changes everything. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how a specific type of gentle walk can actually reduce joint pain instead of making it worse. Just like Barbara, 71, who couldn't get through her grocery shopping without stopping 3 times to rest her knees. She discovered this approach and within 4 weeks was back in her garden, kneeling to plant tulips for the first time in 6 years. No new medications, no expensive treatments, just a simple shift in how she moved. Let me start by painting a picture you'll probably recognize. You wake up in the morning and for those first few moments, you're still. Your body hasn't moved yet. And then you try to get out of bed. That's when you feel it. Your knees are stiff, almost locked. Your hips ache with a deep, grinding pain that makes you wince. You swing your legs over the side of the bed slowly, so slowly, because you know any quick movement will send a sharp jolt through your joints. You stand up and have to wait. Just stand there, holding onto the nightstand or the wall, waiting for your body to remember how to move without pain. Some mornings it takes 30 seconds. Some mornings it takes 5 minutes. And this is before you've even started your day. Maybe you used to love gardening. You'd spend hours outside, kneeling in the soil, planting flowers, pulling weeds, feeling the sun on your back. Now, you can't kneel anymore. Even bending over to pick up something you dropped feels like a risk. Shopping used to be enjoyable, something you looked forward to. Now it's an ordeal. You can maybe handle one store, and even then, you're scanning for benches, for places to sit down and give your knees a break. Your purse has become a pharmacy. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, maybe something stronger your doctor prescribed. You take pills just to do basic things, just to move through your own home. And even with the medication, the pain is still there, lurking, limiting you. Then there's the fear. The fear that if you try to exercise, if you try to move more, you'll make everything worse. Maybe you tried walking around the block once and came home with swollen knees that throbbed for 2 days. Or you attempted a senior fitness class and could barely move the next morning, so now you do less, you move less, you stay home more, and the world starts to feel smaller. Let me tell you about Patricia. She's 67, lives in Ohio, and for nearly 8 years, she dealt with chronic hip and knee pain from osteoarthritis. Every morning was the same struggle I just described, but what broke her heart most was missing her granddaughter's soccer games. The bleachers were too high to climb. Standing on the sidelines for an hour was impossible. She'd tried everything her doctor suggested, different medications, physical therapy that was so painful she quit after 3 sessions, even injections that helped for a few weeks and then wore off. Patricia told me she'd actually accepted that this was just her life now. That pain and limitation were her new normal. She'd stopped hoping for anything different. That's the emotional low point so many women reach. Not just the physical pain, but the resignation. The quiet grief of losing your independence, your hobbies, your ability to show up for the people you love. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly why most people never fix this, why the standard advice actually keeps you stuck in pain, and what Patricia discovered that changed everything. But first, we need to talk about what most people get completely wrong about joint pain and exercise. You've probably been told that you need to rest your joints, right? Take it easy, don't overdo it. And when your knees or hips are screaming at you, rest sounds like exactly the right answer. But here's the problem. Rest makes joint pain worse over time. Not better, worse. Your joints need movement to stay healthy. Here's why. Inside your joints, there's cartilage. This cartilage acts like a cushion between your bones. But here's the surprising part. Cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It gets its nutrients from something called synovial fluid, the fluid inside your joint. And that fluid only circulates when you move. When you rest too much, when you avoid movement because you're afraid of pain, That fluid becomes stagnant. Your cartilage doesn't get the nutrients it needs. It breaks down faster, and you end up in more pain. The other myth? That you need intense exercise to make a difference. So many women think that if they're not sweating, not pushing hard, not feeling the burn, then it doesn't count. And because intense exercise does hurt your joints when you have arthritis, you don't do anything at all. But that's not how joint health works. For your joints, gentle, consistent movement is more powerful than any high-intensity workout could ever be. Here's what actually works. And this is going to sound too simple, but stay with me because the science behind it is solid. A specific type of gentle walking, done in a very particular way, can reduce joint pain, decrease inflammation, and actually help rebuild the support structures around your joints. Not someday, not in 6 months. You can feel a difference in days. Let me break this down into the exact elements that make this work. First, it's about the surface you walk on. Hard pavement, concrete sidewalks, even the tile floors in your home, these create impact. Every step sends a shockwave up through your joints. But soft, varied surfaces like grass, dirt paths, or even the sand at a beach, they absorb that impact. Your joints experience movement without the jarring force that causes inflammation. If you've been walking on sidewalks and feeling worse afterward, this is probably why. Second, it's about your pace. Not slow, not fast, but what I call a therapeutic pace. This is a pace where you can talk comfortably, where you're moving with purpose but without strain. At this pace, your heart rate increases just enough to improve circulation. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your joints. It means your body can clear away inflammatory chemicals faster, and it means less pain. Third, and this is the part most people miss entirely, it's about your stride length. When your joints hurt, you naturally take shorter steps. You're protecting yourself. But short steps actually increase the stress on your knees and hips because you're landing harder with each step. What works better is a longer, smoother stride where your foot rolls from heel to toe gently. This distributes force evenly across your whole leg instead of concentrating it in your joints. Fourth, it's about duration and frequency. You don't need to walk for an hour. In fact, you shouldn't, especially at first. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. But you need to do it consistently, 4 to 5 times a week. Because your joints respond to regular, predictable movement. They adapt. They get stronger. The muscles around them get stronger. And stronger muscles take pressure off your joints. And fifth, this is the secret weapon. You walk before you feel pain. Most women wait until their pain is bad, then try to push through it with a walk. That's backwards. You walk when you feel okay, or when you only feel mild stiffness. This way, you're preventing pain instead of fighting it. You're staying ahead of inflammation instead of trying to recover from it. Quick note, if you want all of this laid out for you step by step, I put together a complete guide called The Gentle Walk Method for pain-free joints. Everything you need in one place. Check the pinned comment below and grab it. Let me tell you what happened with Dorothy. She's 73, lives in Florida, and she'd been dealing with knee pain so severe, she was seriously considering surgery. Her doctor had even scheduled the consultation. Dorothy was terrified of surgery, but felt like she had no other choice. Then she heard about this gentle walking approach and decided to try it for 1 month before making her final decision. She started walking on the golf cart path near her home, just 10 minutes, 4 times a week. The first week, she didn't notice much difference. But in the second week, she realized she'd gotten out of bed one morning without that usual 5-minute wait for her knees to loosen up. By week 3, she walked for 20 minutes without stopping. And by week 4, the swelling in her knees had visibly decreased. She canceled that surgery consultation. 2 months later, she was walking 30 minutes a day and had cut her pain medication in half. Now let's talk about why this works on a deeper level. When you walk gently and consistently, you're doing something called mechanotherapy. You're using movement as medicine. The pressure and motion stimulate your bones to stay strong. They trigger your muscles to support your joints better, and they signal your body to produce more synovial fluid, that crucial lubricant I mentioned earlier. But there's also an inflammation component. Chronic joint pain isn't just about worn cartilage, it's about inflammation. Your body is in a constant state of low-grade inflammation, and that creates pain even when you're not moving. Gentle walking has been shown in research studies to lower inflammatory markers in the blood. It helps your immune system work better. It reduces the chemicals that cause pain signals, so you're not just protecting your joints, you're actually calming down the inflammation that's been making your life miserable. Now let me give you exactly how to apply this starting today. Step 1. Find a soft surface to walk on. If you have a park nearby with grass or trails, perfect. If not, even walking on your lawn works. Some women use a local school track because the surface is designed to be softer than pavement. The key is to avoid concrete and asphalt for these therapeutic walks. I know what you're worried about. You're thinking, what if there's no park near me? What if the weather is bad? Here's what you do. Walk in place on a thick rug or mat in your home, or walk around your yard, even if it's small. You can walk the same path 15 times. It doesn't matter. The surface and the movement matter, not the scenery. Step 2. Start with just 10 minutes. Set a timer. Walk at that comfortable, conversational pace I described. If 10 minutes feels too long, start with 5. There's no prize for pushing too hard on day 1. You're building a habit. You're teaching your body that movement is safe. The fear here is, what if even 10 minutes hurts? Then start with 3 minutes. Walk for 3 minutes, 3 times a day. Morning, afternoon, evening. Your joints don't know the difference between one 10-minute walk and 3 3-minute walks. You're still getting the benefit. Step 3, focus on your stride. Before you start walking, practice this. Stand still and rock forward onto your toes, then back onto your heels. Feel that rolling motion. Now when you walk, think about rolling through each step. Heel touches down first, weight shifts smoothly through your foot, you push off gently with your toes, no stomping, no shuffling, just smooth, rolling steps. Step 4. Do this 4 to 5 times a week, same times if possible. Your body loves routine. If you walk every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday morning at 8, your joints will start to anticipate that movement. They'll prepare. You'll feel less stiff. The worry here, what if I miss a day? Then you just do it the next day. You don't quit because you missed once. You don't decide you've failed. You just start again. Step 5. Pay attention to your pain levels, but give it 2 weeks before you judge whether it's working. The first few walks might feel a little uncomfortable as your body adjusts, but if you're doing this right, you should notice that you feel better after the walk than before. And within 2 weeks, you should notice less morning stiffness and less pain during daily activities. Let me share one more quick story. Helen, 69, started this approach, and within 10 days, she walked through the entire grocery store without sitting down once. She actually cried in the parking lot afterward because she hadn't been able to do that in over 3 years. So let's bring this all together. Right now, you're living with chronic pain that has stolen so much from you. Your mornings start with stiffness and dread. You depend on pills just to move. You've given up activities that used to bring you joy. You feel trapped in your own home, limited by your own body. And maybe, like Patricia was, you've accepted that this is just how life is now. But it doesn't have to be. Imagine waking up tomorrow and standing up from bed without that grinding pain. Imagine walking through your day without constantly thinking about where you can sit down next. Imagine saying yes when your family invites you somewhere instead of making excuses because you're afraid of the pain. Imagine getting back to your garden, to your hobbies, to your life. That future is possible, not someday far away. Starting right now, today, with a simple, gentle walk done the right way. You have 2 choices in front of you. You can close this video and go back to what you've been doing, hoping the pain will magically improve on its own. Or you can take one small action today that could change everything. Everything I just shared and more is waiting for you right now in the pinned comment below. Click it. Get the complete guide. Because you deserve to move through your life without pain stealing every good moment from you. Don't wait. Your joints, your freedom, your joy, They're all worth 15 minutes of your time today. Take the first step. I promise you won't regret it.